The UAE and the Middle East are known for their lavish luxury when it comes to the hospitality sector, with some of the world's most respected hotels based right here in the Emirates.
But online travel site TripAdvisor paints a very different picture. In their Best Hotels of 2012 survey, users from around the globe ranked the 25 best venues in the world. The Middle East didn't feature once.
So why were our local hotels overlooked? Well, joining us in the studio to debate the issue is Guy Wilkinson, a managing partner at Viability, a Dubai-based hotel consultancy. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much.
All right, so looking at this TripAdvisor list, obviously a very widely used website, but I mean, would you say the list was accurate? What are your thoughts? I mean, why do you think the Middle East didn't feature?
It's an interesting question. The list is very interesting because it combines, guest houses in Ireland with the Waldorf Astoria and Chicago and everything in between. This is apparently the ultimate test of guest satisfaction, whatever that is. It's a happy face when they check out of the hotel. So it doesn't necessarily relate to shiny facilities or the latest and the newest and brands. It's really a question of people being satisfied when they check out of the hotel for whatever reason that is. So in that sense, it's a very interesting snapshot of the entire lodging sector worldwide.
So who did make the grade? Out of the top ones, who did rank quite well?
Well, I mean, as I say, it's a mixture of resorts. Here's a resort in Belize. There's riads, 2 riads in Marrakesh, in Morocco. There's 3 country houses in Ireland. Like I say, there's the Waldorf Astoria in Chicago, several hotels in Prague, the Taj Lake Palace, Udaipur. I mean, a very wide range of, there's a ski resort, different kinds of hotels for different tastes.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing with obviously the UAE in particular is we have a very strong emphasis on the luxury side of things, not quite so much when you look at the bargain side of things, although it is improving. I mean, do you think that's a reaction, or is that maybe reflected in why we have such an emphasis in the GCC in the Middle East on luxury, and we're not seeing that reflected as much maybe in the general satisfaction?
Well, there is actually a list of budget hotels worldwide, and there's nothing from the UAE on there either. But the test is that there are a category of budget hotels, and it's whether people have been moved, spontaneously to write a review. I mean, I think the question is, here, travelers in the Middle East, be they Arabs, be they intra-regional, be they international, what do they do if they're happy with their stay? Do they write a review on TripAdvisor, or do they tip the bellboy when they leave, or do they go home and say, what a wonderful hotel that was, you should try it? It's really, I think, partly the mentality of the way people view the internet, Twitter and TripAdvisor and all the other social media. Perhaps it is that here we're not used to writing reviews when we're happy. Perhaps we're more used to writing them when we're upset. I don't know.
I did notice that in the separate luxury category that Dubai did get a mention. Grosvenor House ranked at number 17.
Yes.
What do you think it was about this hotel that made it so popular?
Well, it is a very beautiful hotel. As you mentioned, it has wonderful restaurants. It has destination food and beverage outlets, shall we say, that are well known in Dubai. It's in a very nice location in the marina. Has fantastic views. People who stay there can use the facilities of the Royal Meridian, which is also a hotel that's mentioned in the top 25 in the Middle East. So, I mean, perhaps that's the reason why people were especially inspired to write good reviews. I mean, the ranking is people have written many people have written good reviews about the hotel. Why, especially this one and not some of the other hotels in Dubai that one would automatically assume? I'm not sure.
Well, definitely an interesting issue. I mean, one interesting argument that I've heard with regards to our sort of hotel hospitality sector here is the issue of service and quality service. That we have fantastic facilities, world-class hotels in terms of what's available, sort of physically at the location. But in terms of service, sometimes that lags behind some of the other sort of 5-star resorts and hotels around the world. And one of the reasons behind that is because we employ mostly foreign workers or talent here, as opposed to other nations on that list as well, who have nationals of the country. And there's an issue of both, perhaps, let's say, national pride, and also just a local knowledge of the country. What are your thoughts on this argument?
I'm not sure that I agree with it. My feeling is that some of the hotels that I mentioned in the top 25 are hotels that give a very personal service. from a guest house in Ireland, for example, you might be staying there with Mr. and Mrs. X, who look after you very nicely and make you a nice breakfast and, you know, send you on your way. Whether you get the same personalized service in a big corporate hotel, wherever that is, you know, I very much doubt. But then it comes down to the training systems of the chains, for example, who try to ensure that every employee in the hotel is ready to greet you with a smile and remember your name when you check in and this kind of thing. But I don't necessarily think that the absence of Dubai hotels from this ranking reflects that. I don't think it necessarily reflects a lower level of service here. In fact, I think there are very high levels of service here compared to other parts of the world. And I don't think that necessarily reflects on the truth that you mentioned, which is that most of the employees in the hotel industry here are foreigners. You know, the fact that they may not know the ins and outs of the Emirati culture, that may be true. If someone is particularly looking for that, they may be disappointed. Yeah, but I don't think that's reflected in this survey.
Do you think this is maybe a bit of a wake-up call to some hotels here, that perhaps they need to be more interactive, they need to be more aware of what's happening on TripAdvisor and other similar sites?
I think that's probably true, yes. I was present at the Arabian Hotel Investment Conference last year, where there was a special session on the use of social media by hotels. And really we're in an age where someone can check into a hotel or book into a restaurant with their handheld device, whatever it is, and immediately write a good or a bad review. And the smartest hoteliers are now, they have someone who's monitoring tweets on Twitter and who can respond to them in real time. And hotels that are that fast can have real advantages. You know, they were talking about a hotel, for example, that knew that there was a traffic jam on Sheikh Zayed Road and tweeted people saying, you know, why didn't you come to our restaurant rather than sitting in your car? So yeah, there are definite advantages in being switched on.
Absolutely. Well, of course, that's something that our hospitality sector maybe should be looking into in the months and years to come. Guy, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.